Captain Alex Marshall adjusted the controls of the Odyssey, the newest human warship in the United Earth Fleet, as the crew stared in disbelief at the holographic star map. The map highlighted a cluster of uncharted systems, each glowing red, the unmistakable signature of the Xylar, a species infamous across the galaxy for annihilating entire civilizations before even engaging in diplomacy. "Are you sure these readings are accurate, Captain?" Lieutenant Rebecca Hayes asked, her voice tight with unease. She had served in the fleet for over a decade, and even she had never seen the Xylar so close to human-settled space. "I triple-checked, Lieutenant," Marshall replied, jaw tight. "The Xylar fleet is massive. And, they're heading straight for Vega Prime." A murmur ran through the bridge. Vega Prime was a lightly defended colony with over 2 billion civilians. It was basically a sitting target. The comm officer, Ensign Kyle Donovan, tapped nervously at his console. "Sir, the Xylar have detected our presence. They're broadcasting a signal, but it's not a threat. It's a message. It says, 'You dare enter the void of the dead. Prepare to die.'" Marshall clenched his fists. "Copy that, Kyle. Plot an intercept course. And, turn off the external comm. Let's see how bold these predators really are." The Odyssey accelerated. Humans were always told the Xylar were unbeatable. Stories from other species painted them as creatures with reflexes 10 times faster than humans, tactical minds like living supercomputers, and weapons capable of disintegrating a starship in seconds. No one, absolutely no one, had survived a direct confrontation. Yet here they were, facing them head-on. "Captain," Rebecca said quietly, "why do you think they haven't attacked yet?" Marshall's lips twitched into a half-smile. "Maybe they haven't realized humans aren't just another species to hunt." By the time the Odyssey reached the edge of the Xylar fleet, Marshall had a plan. Not a conventional plan, not a strategy built on brute force or overwhelming firepower. Humans didn't have the speed or armor to outmatch the Xylar directly. But humans had creativity, imagination, and something else no other species had ever shown in a combat scenario: audacity. "Bring up the Xylar flagship on the main screen," Marshall ordered. The hologram flickered, revealing a monstrous vessel, black and jagged, bristling with weapons and moving with a terrifying precision. Lieutenant Hayes swallowed hard. "It's enormous." "Perfect," Marshall said. "We need them to think we're scared. Prepare the signal. I want it loud, clear, and human." Kyle Donovan raised an eyebrow. "Human, sir." "Yeah, Kyle. Make it sound like the bravest human in history is about to do something insane. Maybe even, a little reckless." The message broadcasted across the void was simple. "You have declared war on humanity. Congratulations. You're about to find out why we survive when nothing else does." There was silence on the bridge as they waited. Seconds passed. Then, the Xylar flagship blinked twice and, to everyone's shock, didn't fire. Marshall leaned forward. "They're confused." "Good. Keep them confused." Over the next hour, the Odyssey performed maneuvers that would have been suicidal for any other species. They darted between the Xylar ships, seemingly vulnerable, drawing energy blasts that the crew used to map weak points in the enemy formation. Each time a Xylar weapon fired, a human pilot would leap into an impossible trajectory, dodge the beam, and strike at a critical system. Rebecca shook her head. "Captain, this is insane." "They're predictable," Marshall interrupted. "Every species has patterns. The Xylar may be fast, lethal, and smart, but they've never faced humans before. They don't know how we think. They're learning the hard way." By nightfall, the human ship had disabled the Xylar flagship's shield generators. It was the first major victory anyone had ever recorded against the species. The Xylar, stunned, regrouped in confusion. Their communications were frantic, filled with clicks, roars, and untranslatable signals. One thing was clear: they hadn't anticipated resistance of this kind. Marshall addressed the bridge crew. This is what humans do. We adapt. We improvise. And when the odds are impossible, we get creative. They'll be back, yes. And they'll be stronger. But so will we. Vega Prime survives tonight, not because we have the biggest guns, but because we have the courage to face monsters head-on, and to laugh at the impossible. Kyle grinned. Sir, the Xylar are retreating. Good, Marshall said, leaning back in his chair. Let them tell their fleets about this. Let them remember the humans who dared to declare war on them. 2 weeks later, the news spread across the galaxy. A single human warship had not only survived an encounter with the deadliest species known but had forced them into retreat. Other species stared in awe and disbelief. Some had laughed at humans before, dismissing them as fragile, slow, and inconsequential. Not anymore. At the United Earth Fleet headquarters, a communications officer reported incoming transmissions from multiple allied races. Sir, they're congratulating us. Marshall smirked. Yeah. Humans have a way of doing that. We don't just fight to survive. We fight to win, and to leave a mark. He looked at the crew around him. Each member exhausted, bruised, but smiling. Rebecca shook her head, laughing softly. I can't believe we pulled that off. Against the Xylar. Marshall nodded. We didn't just pull it off, Lieutenant. We reminded the galaxy why humans are never just another species to underestimate. We are the species that fights against the impossible, and wins. In the distance, a Xylar scout vessel blinked in the void, retreating toward the heart of their territory. The message was clear: the deadliest species in the galaxy had just learned the most important lesson of their existence: humans were not to be trifled with. And for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy whispered a truth with equal parts fear and respect. Congratulations, indeed, humanity had declared war on them first, and survived.